Hi. So I wanted to give an update on my competition prep for 2019, wearing the weighted vest. So for the last 2 weeks of um, July, I had cut my calories down. Well, working with my coach, we'd cut my calories down between 1250 and 1350. Um, and I was doing cardio every day. I was tired and I was hungry and I was cranky. And for those 2 weeks, I lost a pound each of those weeks. But I was supposed to compete in November, and I was at drastically low calories and probably had anticipated still needing to lose 10 to 15 pounds. So being at that state where I was, that wasn't realistic. The weighted vest wasn't working. The being low in calories wasn't working. Exercise wasn't working, and I was just basically breaking down, which is what you would experience when you got closer to the stage. So maybe like a month and a half out. It just depends on what your prep looks like. But for me, yeah, I had a substantial amount of weight still to lose to be even ready to be on stage. And so in conversation with my coach, we made the decision to stop my prep at that time because it was just too much for where I was at. And so we increased my calories to about 1,500 or so calories. I stopped doing cardio, and I also kind of pulled back on my strength training because I was just completely tired. The other thing that I did was that I started focusing on protein, but just hitting whatever numbers for carbs and fats. I needed to have a little leniency when it came to food choices. Just coming off of 2 weeks of intense training and restricted calories, it was not a good time. So after a couple of weeks, I also went to see my physician, and um, we had determined that I am in perimenopause, and a lot of different things that you can do. You could start supplementation, or you could go on hormone replacement therapy. Since I was in the later stages of perimenopause, and I'm not technically in menopause, we decided to look at treating symptoms rather than making adjustments to like moving to like a hormone replacement therapy. I also got blood work done that day. And the thing about doing blood work on hormones is it's just a snapshot in time. I mean, it could be completely different the next day, but we did see that my estrogen, progesterone, testosterone were all low or moving in that direction. So understanding that that's why I was not losing weight, that's why I was not making the progress that I wanted to make. We just kind of went to the direction that I would start on supplementation, because I want to go with the least effective thing that would probably get the most effect. So the week of September 1st, yeah, the week of September 1st, I started my supplementation. I'm taking a perimenopausal hormone supplement. I'm taking adrenal via RLC for fatigue and cortisol. And I'm also making sure that I take a multivitamin. So along that lines, we also increased my calories up a little more, and I got to be around 1,800 calories. And then after being on the supplementation for a few weeks, my body actually started responding and I started dropping weight. So what happened was after my 2 weeks of the hardcore training, restrictive calories, within the first week of me um, raising my calories just up to 1500. So that was like maintenance for where I was at in that point in time. Resulted in me being back at the same weight as when I started prep in June. So I think that a lot of people would have been like upset, but I have been doing this for such a long time that the scale number doesn't really mean anything to me. Why I did this experiment: one, I was doing the weighted vest experiment, but two, trying to prep when I was going through these hormonal changes, because I work with a lot of females, and um, a lot of times women are on diets and they're not losing weight and they don't understand why. And by allowing myself, who does not live and die by the scale, who doesn't care if it goes up and down, utilizing myself as a test subject to see what happens, that allows me to help other women when they're going through the changes of life themselves, and they're seeing where it's a struggle to lose weight when they're doing everything right. You always hear a lot of times women say, I'm doing everything right and I'm not making any progress. And when we become defeated, a lot of times what women will do is they will binge eat. They will say, forget about this and I'm just going to eat whatever. It doesn't matter. But while you have a challenge losing weight, you can definitely gain more weight. So that's not always the optimal thing to do. So I really wanted to take this year to utilize myself as a test to be able to help people. So if you find yourself in a place where you're transitioning in different stages in life, it could be the fact that your hormones are just changing, and because of that, that could be affecting your weight loss. So from my experience now, I am like I said, I started my supplementation in September, first week of September. I kept my nutrition up to 1800 because I started seeing the scale come down slightly. So going from 142 to the next week, 141. And it didn't happen right away. It maybe took 2 or 3 weeks, probably close to 3 weeks, to start seeing that. And so I left my macros, or my calories, at 1800, because I wanted to see if putting me at a normal deficiency, because I started at 2500, putting me at a normal deficiency of like 500 calories or so, if I'm able to now with the supplements, be able to make that progress. So at 1800 calories, doing no cardio whatsoever, but I'm also have been able to not be tired and fatigued and sleeping all the time. So my energy level, taking out all the cardio, has actually allowed me to have more energy to move around more. So when I was doing all that cardio and not eating very much, I would work out in the morning and then I just like sleep a lot. I was just tired. So now I have tons of energy. I'm getting in my training. I have no pains or aches or anything like that. Not doing any cardio, but really focusing on step counts being, above 10,000, because that is getting me enough activity. And then I'm still wearing my 10-pound weight vest. So since September, to like Sunday of this week, which, end of September, I am down from 142 to 138. So this week I am bouncing around in the 138s. And so I'm pretty excited. If I can continue on this path, then I anticipate maybe competing in the spring. If my body just stops responding to the supplements that I'm on, then as soon as that happens, then I'm probably going to switch over to hormone replacement therapy. And then at that point in time, then I will just stop with um, losing weight and really focus heavily on building for as long as I can, because as we get older, the ability for us to build muscle decreases, and substantial muscle decreases. And a lot of times when women are put on hormone replacement therapy, they are able to put on a substantial amount of muscle mass. And so I'm going to take advantage of that, because I'm always trying to improve my physique, and there's certain areas that I would love to improve upon. So that's kind of my update. So from June to August, that was my start of the prep. That didn't go very well. From mid-August to now, into September, I am consistently losing weight. So we'll just see what happens. And so I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes.